Question is, does Silvani have the leg speed and the class to go with Franklin tonight? We'll find out over the next 2 hours.
So, opening bounce, Fremantle versus Hawthorn. Clark gets it down. Opportunity wide for Suckling. Clark did well, get the handball to Ballantyne. High to half forward, in front. Good mark, Anthony. Great start for Jack Anthony, who after crossing from Collingwood at the end of last year has really struggled to get opportunities in this Fremantle team. And this would be a wonderful start for him.
Well, he couldn't have asked for a better start, could he? And Murphy should have got a fist on that because he ended up marking it on his chest, and that's a fairly ordinary defensive spoil effort. Really important for his confidence.
Well known for an accurate kick. Is the distance a problem? And lands in the goal square, an opportunity forced through by the Hawthorn defence. It came back but didn't quite have the carry, right on the edge of his kicking range. The opening score of the evening to the Dockers.
Big swing out to the right before he kicked it too.
Umpire call play on?
I didn't hear it.
Birchall to do the kicking in his targets. Bailey. McPhee high from behind does the fisting. Barlow. Broughton. Here's Anthony. Drop the pill. Here's Hale off to Bailey. Suckling stabbed at the ball. It was a beautiful kick. And it found Whitecross.
He's got no one to kick to, so he has to just pause. Handball back to Guerra, who had to buy some time as well. Handball back, so they're trying to get through. Puopolo to Alice. Hurriedly kicks towards half forward. Fremantle have done this well so far, but Hale slips the handball. A little too fierce for Mitchell. Barlow does well. Mzungu, now Fife. The young star for the Dockers towards half forward. Oh, gee, Pavlich pushed out. He'll take the free kick.
Matty, I'm pleased to see Pavlich starting up forward. He spent most of this season playing in the midfield. I think they need him up forward, need him to kick 3 or 4 goals tonight.
I agree with that, and Gibson did a great job on him the last time they met.
Inside 50, up went Johnson. He got the mark on the third bite.
It's interesting, the first 2 inside 50s and 2 marks to big key forwards for the Fremantle Dockers. It's an area where Hawthorn, we all thought when they lost Gillam and Stratton that they'd really struggled. They've held up quite well this year, but not a great sign early in the match. And Rioli, we thought Grover would get the match up. He has. So can Grover keep up with him for leg speed?
Michael Johnson is 5 goals, 6 behinds from set shots this season. He'll be kicking from a very slight angle, 45 metres out from goal. And he's hooked it badly. That's way, way offline.
Adam McPhee, his couple of contests, he's been very hard at it. 200th game, there's no doubt he wants to put in a big one.
Max Bailey deep in defence. Goes the long option, drops a bit short. There's a hold off the ball here, and it'll go to Whitecross, I think it is, for a hold. Wasn't allowed to get into the contest to take the mark. So he's got the ball, he goes backwards, inside defensive 50 to Gibson.
Gibson short. And they control it pretty well, the Hawks. Suckling, not the best of kicks to Alice. Good pressure from Crowley. Franklin, an opportunity. He can't control it. Main was desperate. Flicks it to Clark. Little fumble there. Ball very slippery. Shields at the base of the pack. Well done, Main. And umpire just waiting and eventually calling it a bounce to the attacking side of the wing for the Dockers.
Well, you wouldn't know whether there's a wind down there because Lloydie and Quarters decided to wimp it. But Tim Gossage is down there. What's the weather like, Tim, at ground level?
Yeah, thanks very much, Rob. Yeah, going straight across the ground predominantly, but does favour the left of screen a fair bit of the time as well. But it's going away from the interchange area across the ground and a little bit to the left of screen. So that certainly would have helped that kick for Johnson.
Thanks, Tim, as Silvani kicks beyond the wing and a boundary throw in.
Tim, just keep an eye on Lance Franklin. He copped a nasty corky in that contest before. He's very ginger.
Had a look over at the interchange bench too, so yeah, he's not 100%.
Clark against Bailey. Clark. So Mitchell was held, an advantage paid. And he's off, but he's got nothing to kick to, so he's forced to go short to Franklin. Off to Bruce, he kicks it out wide. Now Whitecross can go all the way here if he gets a kind bounce. He runs to 50, no one home, so he drills it long. It won't make the distance. It did in the end, but only for a point.
Good point, Quarters, on the forward structure of Hawthorn. All of them, no one within 60 metres of goal, so I'm not sure what they're doing there. They've got a great match-up in Rioli on Grover, a great match-up in Franklin on Silvani. They should use those two because the ball seems to be carrying Hawthorn's way.
So Ibbotson wide, Clark the target, chipping in front Lewis.
And Lewis playing on Barlow.
And the kick into the pocket looking for Bruce was well deflected by Hill. Now a chance for Grove. Gee, put Barlow under the pump, back to Hill. Use his speed, and he does. Affected the kick though, and Birchall's able to gather. Gibson, oh gee, an ordinary looking kick, but he was pushed in the process of kicking. So the ball will come back to Josh Gibson. Now no one's standing the mark for the moment. Now they force him back. Inside attacking 50. Franklin the target. Grover fisting away. Ellis has got it. Loops the handball. Franklin. Silvani applying pressure, forcing both Franklin and the ball over. Boundary throw in the pocket.
That's when Franklin got his corky. A Chris Mayne knee into Franklin's hip. Deep inside Hawthorn's 50. Hale tried to swat it to Lewis. Ooh, still got met a bit high. Umpire let that go. And we'll have a bounce.
Hawthorn so good, just about #1 in the competition at scoring from clearances, just behind Collingwood. So this is where they are so dangerous. Lewis, Mitchell, Sewell, strong players around the footy.
Ellis third man up. Mitchell, is he taken high? Snap. Opening goal of the night. On cue, Matthew Lloyd.
I've seen it so many times, Chriso, and they are so good in that area. Brilliant tap out over the top from Xavier Ellis and Sam Mitchell. What a year he's having, and they outscore teams time and time again from that scoring option.
And often the Hawks will have third man up at the ruck contest like we saw there.
You called it again, Matty.
Oh, they're so good. Xavier Ellis, he came over the top, third man up. And Sam Mitchell, Lewis, Hodge, it's happened time and time again. Harvey would be disappointed. Anthony and Johnson missed down the other end.
Beautiful tap by Johnson to Barlow, who couldn't quite find Broughton. Don't forget, there's been a bit of rain here the last hour, so the ball's slippery. Ballantyne hacked it inside 50. Guerra read it best. We're out wide to Lewis. Mayne did well to create the contest. Crowley caught high, free kick. And Mayne, is he okay? Yep. Got a bit of a knock, but the free kick's going to Crowley.
Crowley been running with Sewell.
Kicks to the hot spot. Pavlich is there. Oh, got his hands on the ball. Cheney. Puopolo, Smith, Gibson, Mitchell. And he'll kick in the Lewis direction. Overcooks it slightly.
He's pretty groggy, Mayne. See an elbow accidentally from Jordan Lewis in the face. He has to come off the ground.
It's a brave effort as Clark wins the boundary throw into Broughton, working hard in and under. Barlow, Sewell into the path of Shields. Fife hot on his hammer. Sewell follows up. Does well enough to get it out to Shields, who kicks in the Osborne direction. Well done by Ibbotson. Read it well, that the handball was astray. Allows Lewis in. Now Mitchell. Been prominent earlier. Oh, gee. Cannoned it into Osborne, who finds Franklin just inside attacking 50. Now he's quick to play on. Outside support from Smith from 40. Lines up and kicks the goal.
Well, the thing with Buddy is you're not quite sure what he's going to do. So after he's taken the mark, and we see Osborne there, the reflex catch. Terrific pass to Buddy, but you're not quite sure what he'll do. And Silvani just napping a little bit on the mark there. Buddy plays on, and things happen. And again, we see there Osborne taking the slips catch. Lovely pass, and Silvani napping a little bit there because Buddy's unpredictable, plays on and just draws a teammate towards him. And a lovely finish there by Smith.
Here's Pavlich throwing his weight around in the middle. Sewell extracts and kicks it long. Docker's getting back. McPhee with courage, couldn't take the mark. Bruce, here's Rioli, straightens up, and he drills Hawthorn's third. Well, the Hawks are on early, Matthew.
They are, and they are such a good clearance team. And Sewell, I've loved his season this year. A lot of people thought that maybe his best footy was past him, but he's had a great year, particularly his last 7 or 8 weeks, and they couldn't have done any more. Freo all went to Buddy Franklin. Rioli at ground level, and he put down your glasses, he never misses.
Yeah, Matty, you're right. Have a look at this. Buddy draws 3 opponents there. That Buddy conscious. So 3 Dockers up. That means there's extras at ground level for the Hawks. They take advantage.
Now free kick to Zach Clark.
Put your hand out to block him, Zach Clark.
So Dockers not playing all that badly at the moment, but find themselves 3 goals down in the early going. Clark inside attacking 50. Pavlich was held. Will get a free kick. So, need this goal, does the captain. A steadying goal just to get Fremantle into the contest.
Yeah, Gibson held. That was Jordan Lewis. He lost Gibson, Matthew Pavlich, but Gibson actually held him to 4 disposals and no goals in over a half a footy last time they met. But he does look good, Pavlich, whenever the ball's been near him in this first 10 minutes or so.
So 11-8 from set shots for the Fremantle superstar. What can he muster from outside 50? Not enough.
Well, they've had 3 chances, 3 set shots from Mark's free kicks inside 50.
And Wolsey, they're the 3rd worst in the competition for accuracy. Only Sydney and the Gold Coast are worse than them. Maine has been one of the culprits. Pav has been a culprit all year long.
Guerra does the kicking in and goes straight up the middle. Well done by Clark. Got it to Crowley, to Pavlich, a little short one. The mark's taken by Lower, Nick Lower. Long left foot kick into the pocket. Underneath it's Gibson. Just falls a bit short with that breeze.
Gee, that held up.
Yeah, didn't it what? And Gibson took the easy chest mark and quickly switches to Lewis.
And now Birchall, not a great kick. And well done by Stephen Hill to get a hand in there and force a boundary throw in.
Well, Zach Clark, big job tonight in the absence of Sandilands and Griffin. Was pretty good last week in the derby, so great opportunity just to show how good he is.
Bailey beats him this time. Couldn't direct it into the path of one of his midfielders. And the umpire will bounce.
It's interesting. Silvani's playing about 30 metres behind Buddy to the left of screen there. Buddy's about 30 metres in front of him.
Barlow, quick kick inside, attacking 50. Anthony almost. Couldn't quite hold on. Guerra. Handball not great. Broughton. Good interception. Kick run down though. Gets another opportunity, tried to thread it through to Duffield. Well done by Burgoyne. Now Hill to Clark, looking for Pavlich. Luzungu. Ellis. And Hawthorn can get out of trouble. Good creative handball from Ellis to Mitchell. And now Rioli on centre wing. Franklin running for him in support. Back to Rioli. This is exciting. Brewster's running towards the goal square. Osborne. Where will he go? He goes goal and decides to go alone. What a goal! Gee, that was exciting stuff from the Hawks. They looked in all sorts of trouble in their back half, but once they got through the centre line, very exciting.
Matty, when they got the ball on the wing, they had no one to go to, so they just ran and carried. They didn't panic, and Rioli just superb.
Oh, he was, Wolsey, and that shows, you touched on it before the game. They've done nothing wrong, won 9 of their last 11, and they are playing like this at the start of this match, totally dominating the Fremantle Dockers. What about this build-up? Nothing to kick to, so Rioli didn't panic, just waited. And what a finish on the non-preferred Osborne. He's been a great player over the years for Hawthorn, and the kicking efficiency. Hawthorn at 77%, Freo just at 60%. That's the difference at the moment.
150th for Osborne tonight, turned 29 yesterday. Hawks go into attack again. Here's Whitecross, chips, Rioli. Oh, taken it. Just a real hamstring test of that one, and he got there, Rioli, and he's on his favoured side.
And another clearance for Hawthorn, and we've touched on it a few times. Freo don't get to touch the footy because they are clearing it so easily out of the centre bounce.
Well, that'll test his hamstrings. He's missed games with hamstring problems this year.
17 goals, 10 for the season, converting at 65%. He stabs at the ball, but it's good enough. Another one for the Hawks. Oh boy, 5 to Hawthorn, 2 to Rioli, and the Dockers are in a lot of trouble early in this match.
They are, and as I said, clearances are just about the most important thing in today's football. You get the ball in there before you've got the opposition has the chance to drop a lot of numbers back behind the footy, and Grover would be so nervous one out from the goal square with Cyril Rioli. Time in forward half, so important. But look at this, Fremantle, 63% for just 2 points. And down the other end, Hawthorn, so efficient, kicked 5 goals from just 7 inside 50s.
So back in the centre, Bailey to Mitchell. Good tackle, Broughton. At the back, Sewell. Gets good purchase on the footy, going back bravely. That was a great attempt by Johnson, not paid the mark, but is able to stand up. Pavlich, Mzungu. And now perhaps an opportunity for the Dockers, although the kick poorly directed. And Puopolo. Cooley back to Gibson. Support wide with Birchall. And he can just settle.
Michael Johnson, enormous courage, and then recovered to win the footy. Best effort by the Dockers thus far.
So target is Bailey. Clark trying to work to the front. Gets a fist in there. Chance for Broughton, who's been hard in and under. Johnson, clever little handball. Mzungu. Now Pavlich under the pump. Back to Mzungu. Now Silvani an opportunity. He's under pressure as well. Now fortuitously lands with Broughton. Johnson back to Crowley, who forced just to kick it high in a central location. Chance for Smith. Did well. Guerra. Oh, gee, Lower should have tackled. It'll work out okay. Palmer an opportunity. Wide to Barlow. Can't get there. And Birchall can clear.
Brent Guerra in big trouble.
And Sewell can take it just backward of the wing.
But crunched in the tackle. Looks perhaps that he's more winded than a leg injury. But he's staying down, and he's a pretty tough nut. So he's in trouble, Brent Guerra, at the moment. I'm just taking a guess. Looks like it's heavily winded. Into the middle go the Dockers.
Yeah, and they've moved Pavlich into the midfield after those early Hawthorn goals.
The Guerra's up. Here's Johnson. Kicks to half forward. Camped underneath it. Good stuff from Murphy. That was gutsy stuff from the Hawthorn defender. And he's also earned himself a 50-metre penalty.
The worry for Fremantle when Pavlich does go in there, Wolsey, as we watch Guerra's knock here, just a good hard hit from lower, but is that they're kicking to Ballantyne, they're kicking to Main, a lot of small targets, and they don't have a presence down there without Pavlich.
Murphy doesn't waste much time. He goes long. Oh, easy pickings in front for Bruce. And he will line up directly in front, only 40 metres out. And his kicking for goal this year has been superb in his rookie year.
Fremantle upset because Rioli held Grover away from the contest. And the umpire chose to ignore it. You can see there, centre screen, Rioli grabbing hold of Grover. The umpire allowed the mark.
8 goals, 2 from set shots this year. And the Hawks get another one.
Brent Guerra having a break, but great act of courage here from Michael Johnson. Franklin coming the other way, and also here from Brent Guerra.
Gee, they've taken it in their forward 50 8 times, the Hawks, and they've kicked 6 goals.
Amazing as Sewell kicks it in there again, and another mark. Whitecross on the end of this one. And he's 45 from goal, and Mark Harvey cannot believe this start.
The young fellas in the forward line, Matty, they do so well. Shields, Whitecross, Bruce, Smith. I reckon Alistair Clarkson, he'll want to be at Hawthorn for the next 5 years because there's some terrific talent that he's nurturing.
An amazing start this from Hawthorn. Whitecross to improve the situation. It'll land 5 metres from goal. Chance for Shields. I reckon it was touched. And then it hit the post in any case. So the danger averted there for the Dockers.
I think the real worry for Fremantle, I've touched on it a few times, they have to start getting their hands on the footy in the middle of the ground. 8 clearances to Hawthorn, 4 to Fremantle. It's 3 clearances to Mitchell, 2 to Sewell. They need to find an answer. And it's blokes like Fife, Hill and Pavlich have to find more of the footy in the centre of the ground.
Matthew, the last 5 weeks, they've only won 31% of centre clearances, which is the worst in the comp.
And against this side in Hawthorn, they are marking everything inside 50. This scoreline, as ugly as it is now, it could get far worse if that stat continues.
They're keeping Bailey on the ground, Hale to do the ruck work here, but they're keeping the big fella inside the forward 50. So conditions at the moment suiting the Hawks.
Ballantyne immediately gets wrapped up.
And if they actually get it in there with Pavlich in the midfield, their leading goal kicker is Main with just 22 goals. Kepler Bradley's next with 21, who's not playing, and Ballantyne 19. So it's a tough way to kick a winning score.
Oh, Birchall dropped a swirling ball, and Guerra got drilled into the ground. And he'll get the free kick.
Stop.
Now you look at the stats this year. Hawthorn fantastic at clearances and excellent at scoring once inside 50, and the stats are not lying at the moment in this match. As they work it over to the member side of the ground, the mark's taken by Smith.
Their foot skills, 2 quarters, have been a highlight this year, and they've hardly missed a target early in this match.
Gibson, wobbly old kick across the ground back to Guerra, but he's got plenty of space. Now confronted by Duffield. Puopolo, try and work it through. Now a chance for Suckling, who normally uses the ball pretty well. Long inside attacking 50. This time not well directed. McPhee just wanted it to the line, and the umpire says it's a push in the back against Franklin. So there's a little handball, and there's the push from Franklin. So McPhee with it in the back pocket.
Need to find some run here, Freo. They seem really stagnant off half-back.
Ball touched off the boot, so we'll have a throw in.
Where's McPhee's best position, Matty? You played with him for a long time.
Well, he won a best and fairest off the half-back line, going for his marks, rebounding off half-back, but they've played him as for his forward pressure at Fremantle, inside forward 50. Hasn't found a lot of the footy, so I don't mind him at half-back where he started tonight.
Puopolo, nice nudge against Ballantyne, takes the mark, quickly dishes off. Birchall, Gibson, into the middle. It's a dangerous kick, but it's come off. Mark taken by Shields, who drills it long. Franklin's there, drops a bit short. McPhee can't take the mark. Silvani under the hammer and gets a free kick for a hold.
So Silvani directs it wide, and good mark taken out there by Palmer.
Nat Fife, just the 2 disposals.
It's Greg Broughton. Oh, dangerous little chip over the top. Gibson did well, affected the spoil. Now a turnover. Mitchell's handball well blocked though by De Boer. Sewell, beautiful kick to Osborne, who takes the juggling mark in front of McPhee.
Got 2 big targets up forward, but the kick's not going to help them.
No, poor kick, Rob, and we'll get a boundary throw in the pocket.
Yeah, and the 2 big fellas, Buddy and Hale, looked at the kicker and said, not good enough.
6-2 plays 2 behinds. Hawthorn have shell-shocked Fremantle in the early going here. So Hale to do the ruck work against Johnson. Ball to the front. A lot of players around the football. Sewell shovels it out in the direction of Suckling. Now Barlow. Good handball, setting Silvani away. And now the run provided by Pavlich. So long beyond the wing. Now Guerra getting back and covering beautifully. And he marks between half-back and wing.
Short to Gibson, not the 15, but he has time to recover. And he's got a loose man out wide, and that's Burgoyne.
Gee, it's a luxury to have Burgoyne playing on your half-back line.
Long ball, looking for Hale. McPhee can't take a difficult mark. Clark, the big man's happy to see it over the line.
Here's what Fremantle cannot allow. Look at the uncontested possessions. That's what Hawthorn love. They set up off half-back, 55-30. The game is on Hawthorn's terms.
Here's Hale. White cross over the top of it.
Got it out.
In fact, it was Bruce. Just got it. There's a free kick in the back here, and it'll go against Shields. And it'll go to Robertson. Dylan Robertson playing game number 26 for the Dockers.
From deep in defence, oh gee, nothing right for the Dockers. That was a really bad unforced error from Robertson.
It's going to be telling in this second quarter how Hawthorn handle these conditions, because it does seem like the wind's favouring them, and they've kicked a few out on the full, the Fremantle Dockers down that end.
Now long towards the pocket, Hale, Michael Johnson, here's Franklin, couldn't get boot the ball. Chance for Rioli, quick snap out of the pack is offline. Behind only to the Hawks. Kicking efficiency, 55% for the Dockers, 70% for Hawthorn. Margin out to 37.
Can I ask you, Goss, do you think there's a favourable, in terms of a goal-wise, for the end Hawthorn's kicking to?
I reckon it's a 2-goal breeze, to be honest with you, Lloyd. It's going across the ground more than down the ground.
Johnson. Not a great kick to half forward, but here's an opportunity for Dockers. They've got runners inside. One of them is Broughton. Chips to Duffield, who should go back and have a shot. He'll be about 49 metres out. They've missed a couple of opportunities early. Goes short. Good kick. And the mark's taken by De Boer, and he's well within range. They've had a couple of chances. Fremantle have not been able to convert. This is a must-kick goal.
Great handball there from Lower.
It is, but it's interesting. He's given it off Duffield. He's a nice kick. De Boer, he's in for his pressure, not for this part of his game. Not the best kick at goal.
3 goals, 2 this season. De Boer from about 40. And that one's also been hooked. And didn't even make the distance in the end. Definite breeze favouring the Hawks this term. Mark taken by Gibson.
So Gibson at fullback. Had all the answers in this opening quarter of the Hawks. Ball through hands. Broughton, who's been busy. Good pick up by Palmer. Fife. Careful kick inside, looking for Crowley. Great smother. Came from Birchall. Now Burgoyne somehow is able to extract it. Couldn't get the handball off. Good pressure from the Dockers in their forward half. Fife forced over. So a boundary throw in at half forward with 80 seconds on the clock.
The Dockers fans try to spur on their team. Clark against Bailey. Here's Crowley, tough one to pick up. Mitchell has a crack at it. Crowley over the ball. Lower in the back. It's a free kick going Fremantle's way. It's against Mitchell. And it's going to be taken by Broughton. Weighs up the options. Wheels around on the right and pumps it as long as possible. It'll hold up again in the breeze. Oh, De Boer had a chance. Ellis doesn't concede the point. Off to Birchall. And now the Hawks out of danger. Birchall goes long down the line.
Well done by Robertson. And here's the missed mark from De Boer. See the ball really holding up when Fremantle...
Yeah, it hangs up at that end, doesn't it?
So Clark directs it into the path of Broughton, who gathers eventually. Not a great handball. Fighting hard for his team is Crowley. Now, ball not coming out. That's really harsh. Because the ball was knocked back in from a Hawthorn player, back into Crowley. He was stiff there.
Chris Mayne off, holding his right shoulder in a bad way, coming off the ground.
Can't afford to lose Mayne. Thanks, Tim. So, countdown to quarter time as Shields kicks to the wing. Hale in front, good fist from Clark, Broughton. But that's it, quarter time, an outstanding performance by the Hawks, 6-3 to 2 behind.
It was, Chriso, far more efficient with the football, play the uncontested style they love. 6 goal kickers, and Buddy Franklin hasn't actually kicked one himself, so that's a great sign for the Hawks.